right, guys, so truing your BC, what is that? Why do you want to do it? You might be asking yourself, you guys give me the BC of all my bullets. Why do I need to true it? That is correct. However, if you want to get the most performance out of your gun, at the end of the day, there's a lot of factors that affect BC. You know, what is your personal barrel length? What rifling are you using? The speeds, what speeds are you pushing? What environmentals are you in? They all have different impacts on BC, and so truing your BC to your exact rifle setup is the best way to get the most accurate information. So in our app, we've got a cool new feature that will allow you to do that. And so today we're just gonna walk through what that looks like. Before we can begin truing our BC, we need to do a couple things. We need to start off by making sure our zero is dialed. So before we sat down here to long range booth today, we stopped at the 100-yard sight-in range, made sure our zero was spot on. While we were there, I also grabbed all of our chronograph speeds so that I can plug those accurate speeds into the app as well. And then the last thing I did was verified my environmentals. So we happen to be in service today. If you go into the weather portion of the app, you can just update your current location weather and it will pull in all of the accurate environmentals. Before we begin shooting, we're going to want to identify a range that's going to call for at least 16 MOA or 4.7 mils for standard rifle cartridges. If you're shooting a Magnum, I'd push it even just a little bit further, go to 18 MOA or 5.2 mils. This is going to give you about a second flight time on your bullet. And these distances will just reduce any sensitivities, small errors that might exist in your data. So for me today, I'm shooting a 6.5 PRC. And so the range that is going to be required for me is 800 yards. At that distance, I'm going to need to dial 18.5 MOA. So now once we've got that input into our rifle, we are going to make our first group of shots and track where those impacts are. Once we've done that, we are going to measure in our scopes. I've got MOA hash marks, and I'm going to see how close it was to the actual wind call, whether it was low or whether it was high. And then we're going to take that data and go back to the BC truing feature and make some inputs. Let's shoot a group. All right, guys, so we just laid down that group. As I anticipated, there was a little bit of left to right variance. I really wasn't compensating for the wind from shot to shot, so I anticipated that. However, our vertical was very consistent. I just measured it and it was hitting about an MOA and a quarter high. So now we need to make that adjustment to our bullet profile. So you're gonna go into your app, you're gonna go select bullets, you're gonna hit edit. Once you're into your bullet profile, you're going to scroll down to the bottom where you see ballistic calibration. You're going to select ballistic coefficient. Once you go in, you are going to see two different options. Offset, that would be if you wanted to go down to your target and actually measure the impact difference, put it in as inches, and it will give you your BC difference. For actual, this is asking you what was your actual MOA adjustment that you had to make at that range. So you have to do a little bit of quick math. So the app was telling me for this range, I needed to adjust 22.5 MOA. I was hitting 1.25 MOA high. So the actual adjustment for me should have been 22.5 minus 1.25 would be 21.25 MOA. Calculate. So my BC true to this rifle is going to be 0.325. That's actually a pretty awesome improvement from the advertised 0.291. Now that I've got my updated BC, the app is going to true up my BC curve. So all it's left to do now is to do some more shooting and verify that everything's tracking at a couple of different ranges. All right, guys, so we made our adjustments, shot out 900 yards, got 2 straight impacts, so it looks like it's doing good. Now I'm going to verify several other ranges. I'm going to kind of just work my way in. So shot at 900, I'm going to shoot at 700, 600, 500, and if it's good, we'll be good to go. Let's shoot. Alrighty guys, we started to lose light, so I had to kind of stop jabbering at you and get some shots. Everything's trued up. We shot it at 900 yards after I went through my truing process, got good impacts there, and then just walked it back in. Shot 700 yards, 600 yards, 500 yards, and then like 440 something, and got impacts on all those. So it's shooting good for me. Hopefully this was a good walkthrough for you guys on how to do it for yourself. If you need help beyond this video, or you just don't have access to this video when you go do it yourself, if you go to the top of that BC TRUING feature, you'll see a question mark. Just click on that, and it's gonna literally spit out a step-by-step procedure for you. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Go true up your BC. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.